Hey guys, Alex Bianchi, and today I'm going to be talking about whether or not I think it's a good idea to get your associate's degree. I'm currently on track to get my associate's degree at the end of next semester, although I am a senior in high school. I do have a video linked down below about how I am doing that. Today's video is going to start off with a lot of statistics, and then I'm going to go into my personal opinions. Starting off, here are the few options that you have after high school and statistics surrounding them. Let's address the elephant in the room first, college. A study from the Idaho Department of Labor found that an average bachelor's degree cost $127,000, and that 70% of students take out loans to get that. 20% of students owe more than $50,000, and 5.6% of students owe more than $100,000. $100,000 of debt. It only gets worse from here. 40% of college students drop out. In fact, thanks to yours truly, that's what my mother did. That's for later in the video, but back to these statistics. Of kids who do graduate, 64% take longer than 4 years. Every year spent out of the workforce after those 4 years is $70,000 in lost wages on top of whatever debt you accumulated from the classes. This is absurd. Be sure to like the video if you think the cost of college in America is crazy. And be sure to leave a comment of solutions you think America can employ. Hint, free college is not the answer. So now let's look at the bachelor's degree's younger brother and associate's degree, what I will be earning. An associate's degree on average costs about $5,000 over the course of 2 years to earn. This gives you a lot less debt, an extra certification on top of high school, and most importantly, 2 extra years in the workforce. For people who only have a high school diploma, their unemployment rate is on average 4.1%, with an associate's degree is 2.8%, and with a bachelor's degree is 2.2%. So you have a 0.6% difference in unemployment between a bachelor's degree and an associate's degree, but there's a much more significant difference in unemployment between a high school diploma and an associate's degree. When you look at income, there's a $132 a week difference between someone with a high school diploma and an associate's degree, and a $336 difference between a bachelor's degree and an associate's degree. So when it comes to an associate's degree, you have much better chances of getting employed, but overall, you're making not too much more than someone with a high school diploma, but significantly less than someone with a bachelor's. Do keep in mind that there is an over $100,000 difference and 2 years between the bachelor's and associates. So I'm never going to say that an associate's is as good as a bachelor's, but you do got to look at the whole picture. Recently on the rise in the United States have been trade schools. A big reason for that is that in the coming years, we're going to need a lot of people in these trades, and we're not going to have anyone to fill these jobs. So kids are realizing that now and going into trade schools because they're going to be wanted. Their employment is borderline guaranteed. Figures vary heavily as far as annual income with a trade school, depending on what trade you go into. You got electrician, carpentry, yada yada. You got a lot of options, but on average, you have $35,000, a very respectable salary. On the other hand, people with a bachelor's degree earn $46,000 on average a year, making for a difference of roughly $11,000. Looking at the whole picture, going to a trade or vocational school costs about $33,000 compared to the $127,000 that a college degree owns, and all of a sudden you're at a $94,000 difference. When you take into account the cost of education, the average annual salary, the extra time in the workforce that someone who goes to a trade school has, and there is only a $6,000 difference in lifetime income. And that's not even including the interest that you're going to have to pay on a college loan. So that's a lot of statistics that I just threw at you. Please leave me a comment if that was too much, if you think I should have spread them throughout the video, or how I might have gone about that. For me, I just like getting hit with all the information, and here's my personal conclusions that I've drawn from them. I think going to a 4-year university is crazy, unless that's what you really want to do. Now listen, everyone is different, and I'm not qualified to give advice. I don't have an associate's degree. I've never been to a trade school. I've never been to a 4-year university. I haven't even graduated high school. But when I look at this, and I look around at the kids that I know who are applying to 4-year schools, none of them have any idea what in 10 years they want to be doing, and that's a problem. That's a problem for many reasons, and there's no easy solution to it, but it's something to take into account when someone goes to school for 4 years for $127,000 and they get a degree in something that they don't even like, something that they don't want to have a career in, then okay, so they drop out early and they incur a bunch of debt, or they keep going to school to change their degree. If someone doesn't know what they want to do, they don't have any good options in a four-year university. I think that's where the associate's degree comes in, is it's people who still want to keep educating themselves, still want to go to the 13th grade. For people who don't know what they want to do, that extra 2 years can be monumental in developing themselves, getting more time working a part-time job, learning a little bit more, getting those prerequisite classes done. Maybe you do like anthropology, but you don't like psychology, and that kind of leads you down the rabbit hole of what you want to do for a living. An associate's degree can really fill in that gap. But when you go to college, you don't know what you want to do, you're wasting so much time and money. Now, all of this is if you're going into debt. Maybe your family is rich as hell, and they can throw $150,000 at you to go party for 4 years, and at that point, you do you, bro. Go party for 4 years, have a good time. I am strictly talking on a statistical, decision-making, average kind of basis. A lot of what I'm saying doesn't even particularly apply to me, because I already have a $100,000 scholarship offer from Seton Hall, and I'm 2 years ahead into the associate's degree in high school, so my stuff is all out of whack for this. It's a great example of why you really have to look at yourself and say, okay, what's best for me? I have a lot of friends who are going to trade schools, and they have no problem with it. They're going to wind up in good jobs for a long time, they're going to get straight into the workforce, and that works for them. That's perfect. Again, none of this is advice. I don't know anything. So when you look at yourself for what you want to do after high school, you have no education, an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a trade school, and a lot of things in between, but these are the main four. There's a lot of people that not going to school works for them, and for those reasons, I have a video on why I personally don't want to go to college, but am anyways, in the description down below. For people who want an associate's degree, they might want a couple extra years to figure out who they are, just a little hedge on other people who went to high school, or they want some special training in a career to kind of get their foot in the door with that career. People who go to a four-year university, you can have a lot of money and want to do that. You can know exactly what you want to do for a living and say, hey, I want to be an aerospace engineer. I don't have a choice. I got to go get my PhD. That's all you. Be happy, first and foremost. The money can work itself out. It's something to be taken into account, but over the course of a lifetime, the money will work itself out. If you know what you want to do, follow that. Then you have the tried and true trade school that allows someone to just land into a decent job, very middle of the road, get straight into the workforce, nothing bad about it at all, and there's tons of opportunities when you get there, especially when you look into the future, and we're going to be lacking in people to fill those roles that going to a trade school prepares you for. A personal anecdote of mine is my mother. She went to school for 4 years, had me, dropped out, doesn't have a degree. She incurred all of the debt with none of the rewards. She has done wonders without a college diploma, only some college education, and that's amazing. It's great for her. She's been able to work so hard, but she would tell anyone that they should go to college because the way she did it is not the easy way. If you ask me, she's just a little traumatized from the whole thing, and she's blunt with everyone should go to college. It's a lot more dynamic than that, in my opinion, not advice. You also have my father, who went to school for 6 years, wound up working in decent jobs his entire life, and climbed his way up the corporate ladder to be a security analyst. I think that's what he does. Risk analyst at a bank up in Jersey City. These are two examples. One person who had kind of the worst of it, and the other person who had actually 2 degrees, history and psychology, and he now works in the IT department doing risk analysis for a bank. That's a perfect example of how your college degree does not line up with your career in any way at all. But throughout time, he went to different jobs, got trained, built up a resume, and is able to hold this position. There is something to be said for just having the piece of paper that says bachelor's degree. Doesn't matter what it's in. There are a lot of companies, smaller, older companies to be fair, who won't accept an applicant who doesn't have a bachelor's degree. They want them to have that 4-year college experience. You can also look at Apple, Google, VaynerMedia, all very large companies who don't care about a college degree at all. It's all about you. So there's clearly a new wave in America caused by the increased cost of college education, of trade schools are fine, associate's degrees are fine, college might be overrated, and overall, your education doesn't say anything about how successful you're gonna be in life. Thank you for watching today's video. I really appreciate every like, comment, subscriber that I get a notification about. So if you could do me a favor and do all of those things, like, comment, and subscribe. This video was really meant to be more conversational, threw a bunch of data out there and I talked about it myself, but I'm by no means 100% correct on this. So let's have a conversation in the comments about your opinion on college, trade school, associate's degrees, whatever you want it to be. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.